Alright, today I'm finishing up Miss Claus, made by Santa's Best. She had some damage going all the way from over here, some cracks, had a hole here, two small holes here, crack coming down here, down here, down here. You can see this hole's still there. That's what I'm going to fill in. I'm going to show you how to fill it in and get it level with the existing plastic. It would be nice if that plastic was still here or available, but it's not. This happens sometime, who knows where, who knows when. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece of plastic. It's a piece that was cut out of another blow mold for the light hole, for the light kit, where the back plate goes on. And it's nice thick plastic. And plastic on here is fairly thick, so it'll be easier to work with than a lot of them that are real thin. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to pick a side to start on, and let's see, kind of figure out a way you can overlay the hole like that. And you want to have this just a little bit bigger than the hole. So what you're going to do is, okay, the corner of the hole is about right there. You're just going to start out here and just start touching it with your soldering iron, melting it. Just kind of poke it. Don't put it on there and hold it like that, or you'll burn right through it. And you can very easily burn through and hit the edge of the existing plastic and melt some of it, and then you've just got a little bit more of a patch to make. So if you don't have to, try and keep the work to a minimum. Just kind of melt it down to where you can stick it to the existing plastic. You can see there it's already sticking, and you kind of, the heat will go through this melted plastic to the old plastic and will kind of melt it a little, and then they'll bond together. If you just melt this and stick it on there without melting just a little bit of the existing plastic, then eventually if something bumps right on that patch, then it's going to come off. It will crack around that patch, and it will come off because it's not adhered to it's not bonded to the existing plastic. So just go around, start at one side, work your way around it, and if you don't cover the hole completely, it's okay. You can come back and fill in any spots that are left open in just a few minutes. Just like I said, take your tip and just kind of touch it on there onto the patch until you get it melted, and then run it along the edge of the original plastic. So what you're trying to do is get the patch stuck to the old plastic, get it bonded good, and then you go in and start shaping it. And when it's done, the patch will be the same height as the old plastic once you finish. It just takes a couple of steps, but it doesn't take a real long time, and it doesn't take any kind of specialized college degree or anything. If I can do it, anybody can. You just have to remember that it's not going to look perfect, because once plastic is molded and then it gets cracked or damaged, the only way you can completely cover it up is to melt the whole thing and put it back in the mold and make it over. And since these molds don't exist anymore, or if they do exist, nobody knows where they are for this particular one, that's not really practical. To cut this off, you just take your tip and kind of poke it in a little bit and then drag it along that line where you want it cut off. And just keep going back and forth, and eventually it will go all the way through. And that way you can cut it better than with scissors. And don't worry if there's a little excess, because you can spread that out. Gently pull on your patch and then take the very tip and cut any pieces off. Cut it off. I think I'm going to have a little space up here that I'm going to need to fill in once I get all the rest of it done. Maybe not. The good thing about working with thicker plastic is that you can also kind of peel some off to cover any small, like pinholes. Whoops. Reach inside and kind of poke that back out a little bit. So I'm going to, when I get this bonded over here, if there's enough there, I'll kind of scrape some from here, scrape it up this way, and see if I can get enough plastic to cover that area. And the way you can take a flat patch and curve it, you just take your tip and just gently press different spots, and it will heat that whole area up. And once you do that, you take your tip and you can gently push down on it, and it will, the plastic will be hot enough that it will bend. And once you bend it to where you need it, you just let it cool for a few minutes. Not even a few minutes, just maybe a minute. Work on another area until you see that that turns white, and then you can go back to it. I may have cut this off too close to the actual size that I needed, but I'm just going to take the tip and kind of push down over here to get the plastic to kind of curve. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's hot enough to be clear, and it's kind of malleable, but it's not wanting to stay. So just kind of keep it, bend it as close close to the shape you need, then let it cool, and then go back and do it a little bit more. And to get it, I don't know how well it shows on there, but you see how it's sticking up quite a bit. The way you get rid of that and get it level is you just continually heat it up. You can just kind of go back and forth with your tip, and then as it gets harder, you just kind of push it down. Since this overlaps the hole quite a bit, you can kind of push it to the hole. Just leave some overlapping there though, because if you don't, it won't be as strong of a patch. Whoops. My warning thing on my camera just came on saying I've got, I think, 20% battery left, so hopefully it will last till I finish this video. I may have to make another video showing how to finish it. We just kind of keep rubbing it back and forth, get it nice and hot. You can also smooth out the overlap to where there's not a noticeable line. Try not to breathe that smoke in that's coming up, because that's probably toxic. You really want to do this in a ventilated area, which I'm not at the moment, but I'll open that window in a minute. Open the door and let it air out in here. Like I said, just watch where this thick part is when you're doing this, because you could burn another hole into the plastic. Then you'll have to go fix that too. And just kind of keep rubbing the tip across there, on the side of it, and it will kind of make a fairly smooth layer on there. Push this in just a little bit more. We're almost close enough. And yes, that plastic is still hot. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to fill in a little bit of this along here, because I cut it off too small. But that's okay. I don't have a time frame. This has to be done. I've had this particular Mrs Claus for probably 6 months, Just haven't gotten around to fixing her until now. Just kind of heating this up and pushing it in a little bit. Get it a little bit closer to the correct height. If you're on a curve, if you're fixing a curved area, if you can reach in from the inside, you can just, if it goes in, if it sags in too far when it's hot like that, you can just quickly poke it with your thumb or your finger and push it back out. It only burns for a second. It's still a little bit too high up here. Keep you a piece of coarse sandpaper close by, and if you notice the tip looking black, you just give it a few wipes with the sandpaper. Otherwise, you can start leaving little black specks in the plastic. Now let the patch area start cooling off a little bit, so that it's all white, so I can see exactly how it looks. Still not perfect, but it's looking better. You can see it still sticks up a little bit. Let me turn it. I don't think it's going to let me turn the camera around. Anyway, you can see it still sticks up a little bit. Still a little bit higher over there. So I'm just going to kind of go in this direction with the extra. Come back, smooth it out a little bit. push that excess over towards that hole. Just kind of smoothing the edge out where it's not as noticeable. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more look. See, this edge is looking a lot better. We're ready. Starting to look a little better on this side. Starting to get a little bit closer. You can see this is all the old plastic. You kind of follow the contour. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, if you look, you'll see it. But it doesn't look too bad. Definitely looks better than a hole. But anyway, if you liked the video, click the like button, please. Thank you for watching. If you want to get notified when I do the second part of it to finish filling in that little hole, click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.